First of all, the title of my talk today is this: You Know More Than You Think. So the whole idea of why look around the corner when it's all right here, if we're constantly looking at what we don't have, if we're constantly looking at what we want to happen, as opposed to what am I actually doing? Where am I actually living right now? What's actually happening right now? Friday night here at the Sound Bath at our soul immersion with Scott and Judd and Swan was probably the best one we've ever done. And the sound, I was sitting up here and I was just like, does it get better than this? And can I take this out into the world? And I did. It has stayed with me. It has just stayed with me, what we all experienced here on Friday night. So, as I was preparing for this talk today, questions came up to me, which I'm going to ask you. Last night in Palm Springs, we had a great service last night in Palm Springs, very full. And there's a minister who came up to me and said, I really love that you are a protege of Dr. Walker, my teacher. And he said, because you have the singing, you have the whatever, all the great things he said to me, the humor, all of that, and you're so deeply on principle. And then I asked him who his teacher was, and his teacher was Kennedy Schultz. And Kennedy Schultz was in Atlanta, thank you, in Atlanta. And I said, well, look at us. We are the children of David Walker and Kennedy Schultz. That's who we are. And I got it. I was like, I am really happy with who I am as a minister and where this center is going. So the first question I'm going to ask you, and I don't want you to answer it if you can. This isn't a question for you to answer. This is a question for you to sit with, to just listen to what may come up. It's a very simple question. It's, are you happy? And don't even, and I know you want to say yes. I want to say yes too, but I want you to just sit with it. Are you happy? Because the question that's right under it for me is, what is it to be happy? When you're agreeing to that, what are you agreeing to? Yes, I'm happy, but what are you agreeing to? What is it to be happy? What does it mean to be happy? I know when something makes me happy. I know when someone makes me happy. I know when some event makes me happy. But am I happy? And what does that mean? That's the first question. The second question is this: are you good with your past? Are you good with your past? And again, don't answer it, although Karen's saying yes. Try not, it's hard. Isn't it hard not to answer it? It's like, yeah, I'm good with my past, move on, but it's not a question. No, but it's, are you good with your past? And not to answer it, but to just let that sit there. And then, of course, the question underneath it is, what is the past? I mean, if you're saying you're good with it, what is it? Is it not just a series of events that have happened in time and space based on the way you have used your mind at that time in your life? Because anything that has happened to you in your life has happened because your mind was in a certain place at that time. That's how it works. So, are you happy with your past? My next question is this: are you excited about the future? I love you're all answering this. You're like, yes, I am. Are you excited about the future? Well, you know where I'm going to go now, but what is the future? And how important is it in your life? If you had nothing to look forward to whatsoever, would you still be good? And this is just for you to think about. You know, what are you excited about your future? And then when I ask, what is your future? It really is like, what is the future? I mean, what really is the future other than that which you are creating right now will show up? That's the future. So you really have to still back it up and go, am I excited about what I'm thinking right now? I'm excited about the life I'm living right now. So, my last question I'm going to ask you, oh no, it's not, close. Are you a wise person? Are you wise? Robbie, are you a wise, did you say no? Sit with the answer, Robbie. Yeah. Are you a wise person? Okay. And then my question is, what is wisdom? What is wisdom? I'm going to ask, what is wisdom? Tell me what wisdom is.
It's the overall absorption of all the lessons you've ever learned. And
The overall absorption of all the lessons you've ever learned, and because that has this period at the end of it.
Well, then let's leave it there.
Thank you for that answer. Great. Do you know what most people say wisdom is? And Stephen talked about it today in meditation. Most people think wisdom is knowledge. It's not. Wisdom is not knowledge. Knowledge is just knowledge. And so my next question to you is, are you a knowledgeable person? Again, sit with the question. We tend to want to answer it very fast. Are you a knowledgeable person? And then, how important is knowledge in your life? How important is knowledge in your life? I will tell you, and probably a number of people, Steve and Diane, probably other people who are ministers in the room, I have studied science of mind for over 20 some odd years. I have so much frickin' knowledge in my head. That textbook, Tiffany's not here today, she's at the casinos. So thought I'd tell you all that. She asked to borrow one of my Science of Mind books, and she picked it up and she went, "It's falling apart." I said, "It's 25 years old. I read it. I actually used it. And I have about 4 of them. All of the bindings off, the pages are falling apart. I have all of that knowledge. And every time I read it, I feel like I've never read it before." Why is that? Because knowledge keeps growing. Knowledge keeps expanding. And frankly, the only knowledge that is important for you is the knowledge of knowing that you know nothing. And you're willing to know what's coming, what is coming through you. That's it. I know nothing. Now what can I know? Everybody say that. I know nothing. Now what can I know? That's the knowledge, right? So I'm not disparaging all of the years of Science of Mind 100, 200, 300, 400, back to 100, 200, back to 100, 200, and all the extra classes. They're really important. They're great. It's a lot of knowledge. Bigger question is, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with that knowledge? And are you getting stuck in it? Possibly. Are you getting stuck wherever that knowledge put you? So this is what Mary Baker Eddy said. Wisdom is the right use of knowledge. To know is not to be wise. Many men and women know a great deal and are all the greater fools for it. There is no fool so great as a fool knowing, no fool so great a fool as a knowing fool. But to know how to use knowledge is to have wisdom. So, how are you using the knowledge you have? How are you living the knowledge you have? I look around this room and I see people who have studied this science and been in this teaching for so many years. But we are literally just beginning to understand why it is ours to use. Even though Ernest Holmes said it in 1926, before that, there's a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and I would say greater than you know you are, and you can use it because you are it. But we're just getting there. I feel like we're just getting there to that point where we're going, oh my God, I can use this stuff to really make a difference in my life. So here's my next question to you. What is the purpose of life? Lisa? Okay, to find joy and gratitude in each moment. How many of you are good with that one? Okay, good. Karen?
To experience love and to give love.
To experience love and to give love. How many are good with that one? Great. Catherine? To know God. How many are good with that one? They don't like the word God, but we're getting better at that. It's good. Craig?
Oh, the question again is...
What did you have for breakfast?
I was listening. Just give it to me one more time. Okay.
The question is...
What's the purpose of life?
Exactly.
To express whatever it is my consciousness as fully as possible.
Okay, to express whatever is your consciousness as fully as possible. What if I told you that the purpose of life is for you to know yourself? You're close. To know God. You are God. So the purpose of life is for you to know yourself. That's it. Could you imagine? That's the only thing you have to be responsible for. That's the only thing, Stan. For you to know who Stan Galperson is. Who Stan Galperson really is. Away from my career, away from my marriage, away from my children, away from my talents, away from my past, away from a future I'm launching into, away from all of it, who is Carol Hatchett? And that's our purpose in life. And that is our purpose in all of our lives. So, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe said this: knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. So it's not just the purpose of life is to know yourself. What are you going to do with it? You know, we walk around here saying, I am God. I got to tell you, a lot of things I see don't look like God's doing good. He's having a great time. Financial problems, relationship problems, health problems, weight problems, all sorts of things. And yet we're saying, I am God. So apparently we're not applying that. I picked this picture because recently someone was talking to me about, you probably don't know that I did West Side Story, but I'm going to say it anyway. Somebody was talking to me about West Side Story, and it was one of the dancers in West Side Story, and he was reminding me of this day at the Minskoff, not at the Minskoff, it was in Florida. The first theater we went to, Miami Theater of the Performing Arts, was where we did our first performance. And when I was hired to play Riff, I did not have the dancing capacity that my fellow actors had. All of the Jets, all of the Sharks were ABT, big ballet dancers, amazing, amazing dancers. In fact, the guy playing Bernardo was the lead dancer in the Alvin Ailey Dance Company. And then there was me, who was playing Riff, who was a really good dancer. I had ballet training. You know, I went to Joffrey, so I could dance, and I was good, but I wasn't that. And I was extraordinarily undisciplined. Really, which really, because I was so arrogant. I just assumed, no, Sue, really, Anthony. That was then, this is now. I was really arrogant because I thought, I dance great, I'm fine, I don't need to get any better. And I really had that attitude, but then I get put into a position. So we were on stage, and they were fixing lights, and Jerry Robbins came up and asked us to do this thing that we do where Riff makes his entrance. And it was a step like that. And it's this jeté from the side. And all the jets would go touring down and then spread eagle all the way through across the stage. And I hadn't been able to do it very well. And I honestly think he decided to do that day just to piss me off. Really. I think he did it just to say, you're going to ever figure this out or not? Because every time we did it, I would be the weakest one, really. And when I came out, all lights hit me, and then I would stop, and then the Jet song happens right after that. I was so angry that this was happening, and I just got more and more and more angry. We know now what it's called, the imposter syndrome. I was suffering from that really badly, and I somehow went out onto that stage, hit a split. I think I went beyond a full split. And Jerome Robbins, and all the lights hit me, and I stopped. And I remember I'm getting it all now. I didn't have that high voice then. I was playing a masculine role. And I remember standing there thinking, if I can do this, why am I not doing this? I just did it. And I see Jerome Robbins coming running down hall down the theater, and he comes up on the stage and he got right in my face. He went, "I never want to see it look anything less than that." And I was just like, okay. And it didn't. And I took my place. So this quote, knowing is not enough. I knew I was good. I knew what I had in me. I didn't know I was God back then. We have to apply it. We have to do it. We actually have to live this teaching. Live it out loud, audaciously, fearlessly. And I got to tell you, life really did change after that moment, because I was no longer less than that part should be. And I had a very good run as Riff in that show. Aristotle said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So the wisdom that you just talked about is innate when it comes to knowing yourself. When you really figure out who you are, everything is possible. And I know we say that a lot, but today feels different for me. Things have been changing over the last couple of weeks for me, where almost like that jeté, I feel like I've finally landed the jump, and I'm standing in it, saying, I know who I am. I know who I am, and I know what I want to do. And what I really want to do is be in the moment, be fully present, and be happy. So Deepak Chopra said, if you truly know yourself, you will begin the journey of transformation. But I want to say this, it's not really a journey, it's a surrender. We all talk about the journey, but it's a surrender. Are you willing to surrender who you think you are? Are you willing to surrender even the things that you love about yourself in order to find maybe something else you'll love even more? Are you willing to surrender to finding out who you are? Understanding you is just surrendering to what you already know. So Carl Jung said, you are what you do, not what you say you'll do. I could stand in the wings forever and say, I can do that, right? Or I could go do it. The wings do nothing for me except give me a very dark place to feel inadequate. But then you have to take that moment where you jump out and all the spots hit you, because you are the star of your life and you have the goods and you know that you have the goods. So you can say you're going to do these things till the cows come home, but unless you're doing them, you're kind of just sitting around with a lot of knowledge and no wisdom. This was for you, Lisa. I picked this picture. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask. Act. Action will delineate and define you. So the title of my talk today was, You Know More Than You Think. And here's the thing about that title. You know more than you think. Except right now, I think you think more than you know. Do you all get that, what I'm saying? We are spending so much time with our minds thinking, trying to make sense, trying to make it work, trying to make it be what we want it to be. We use our critical thinking, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, but we use it too much and we use too little of knowing. There is something inside of you, and that's what this month is all about, an understanding, a you that has yet to show its face, a you that has really yet to step up and say, hit me with the spotlights. It's time. It is really time for you to know more than you think. So let go of your thinking mind at times and settle into those 3 keys I asked you about. To really pay attention. Why do I react this way? Why do I feel this way? Why does my body do this? You want to be on top of your body? You want to be on top of your life? You want to be on top of the universe, doing what is yours to do? You need to know more than you think. Namaste. Thank you.